today and just being around the whole ASU football family?
It was great. You see everybody, coaches, new players, old players. I've luckily trained up at Exos Phoenix, so I was training with K1, Jacob, who else was there? Zay. So the culture was still around, but it was great. Definitely, see the familiar faces, the relationships I built these past 2 years. Something I'll never forget. So it was good seeing it.
How do you think today went compared to what you were hoping for?
I thought it was great. I've heard numbers about me, how fast, if I can run at all. I was state champion in track in high school, so I've always been able to run. So I was able to, back that up, what I've been saying in my interviews and meetings. So, I was happy with all my numbers. What I've heard, it's kind of up in the air in terms of the 40, but, everything that I've heard is exactly what I wanted to run.
What are some of those other things you've heard from teams, positive feedback that they like about your game?
Big on the character, big on the IQ, and how fast I play, especially in the box. They see me as a box linebacker, a guy that can play 3 downs, so that's a big thing.
Hey, Keyshaun, just seeing how hyped everybody got for one another in the weight room, how much does it mean to you that you have this brotherhood long-term for life?
Yeah, exactly. You see that culture. We all came back. There's guys training all over the place. Just everybody to come back, and at the end of the day, compete and support each other. So it was fun. In that weight room, we were all getting hyped. So it's just fun and supporting. That's a big thing that we harped on the 2 years I was here, was the culture that we had. So I felt like we showed that.
Did it feel like your 2 years here in Tempe maybe have changed the trajectory and gotten you, from Aggie to an NFL draft pick?
Yeah, I stepped into college, and I was very little on a linebacker, in terms of technique. How I played it. Always the IQ was always there. So I was able to, play fast in New Mexico State. Had unbelievable coaches there. My DC and linebacker coach, DC was, 3-time All-American. So he was always on me. And it's funny that, we talked because, it was after my freshman year I wanted to transfer. He sat me down, we went out and ate dinner. He's like, I don't think that's the best, decision for you. He sat down. He's like, you trust the process, and whatever way it takes you, you give yourself opportunity, be a draft pick. And when I walked out of high school, I was, bottom of the bottom. Nobody believed in me. I don't even know if I had a star as a recruit. So it's just, happy. And obviously when I got to Tempe, it changed everything. I was blessed to have Coach Coop, who harps on the details, the fundamentals, everything it takes, to get to this next step. I haven't made it yet. I'm not close to it. I mean, it's right around the corner, but there's still a lot of things that I need to work on and get better on.
To piggyback off that, like Coach Coop's style, I know you said to me before, like, wanted to make you, when everybody came in, as like being comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But just like with that and how it translates on the field, how much does that help you prepare for this day, but just develop overall?
I'll just say this about Coop, is like, if you have the opportunity to get coached by him, take it. And if you're getting coached by him currently, don't leave it. It's he changed so much about my game, how I held myself, not only as an athlete but as a person. So that's one of the biggest things. He's going to get to know you as a person, and you build a relationship personally that's going to take you farther away. That's why we were able to come hand in hand and be on the same page on a lot of things outside of football.
Keyshaun, what are NFL teams going to be getting in you?
I mean, they're going to get an everyday guy, consistent, competitive, guy that's process-oriented, a lot of things. I feel like a lot of people, see that, but they want to know it. So, whenever I'm sitting down in front of them, able to talk to them and, especially come out here today and back up all those things.
Being able to be a part of the leadership council while you were here, and now being able to leave kind of a little bit of a legacy, what do you think back on and hope you've left with this program?
Well, I was a 3-time captain. 1 at New Mexico State and 2 here. So that was one of the biggest things I wanted to grow on as I got older and got into my 4th year. It's just how can I build relationships with everybody, not just on the team, but guys that the support staff, the student coaches, our interns in the weight room. Just be a positive impact to them. That's why I was able to find success in that, because I can relate to a whole bunch of different backgrounds.
Do you feel like this program's in a better place than when you found it?
100%. I feel like it's still on the rise. Nowhere close where they're going to be. I can only imagine how this place is going to be in 3 years.